Unless you've been living in a cave, you've probably heard that the United States is at war. And if you were in a cave, you probably ran into Osama bin Laden, and then he told you, so you really don't have an excuse. It all started back with the attack on September 11th, which led to the US invasion of Afghanistan, which led to an invasion of Iraq, which looks like it could lead to several other invasions. Who knows? Maybe Canada. The point is, our military's out there blowing stuff up, and there are lots of people who are very upset about it. They're looking for some answers, for some information, and most importantly, for someone to blame. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the President of the United States. Unfortunately, he didn't accept our invitation to be on the show. Shocking, I know, but the receptionist at the White House told us he's busy. It's true that historically the executive branch of our government has vast power for committing military forces overseas, but it's held on a very tight leash, a leash held by the Congress. James Madison said that the Congress's power of the purse would control the executive sword. So, without any money, the president can't send any troops anywhere. Because you see, jet fuel is expensive. And so are bombs. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the people equally responsible for the war, the United States Congress. Unfortunately, the United States Congress chose not to accept our offer to come on the show today. Well, what was their excuse? Are they even in session? Campaigning. In the Constitution, Congress is the one given express power to declare war, but strangely enough, they don't really use it much. In fact, we haven't officially declared war since 1941. In 2002, Congress issued the Authorization for Use of Military Force Against Iraq resolution and authorized the president to, quote, use United States Armed Forces pursuant to the United Nations Security Council Resolution 678. Wait a minute. I didn't hear the word war in there. Authorization for use of military force. Nope, it's not in there. And no declaration of war either, just congressional permission for military action. So I guess we're not technically at war. They just look like wars. And it's easier to say war. Like Korea, Vietnam, Grenada, Panama, the Persian Gulf War, Kosovo, and Afghanistan, Iraq is just another in a long line of what we could call police actions. Many of these conflicts were approved, and all of them were funded by Congress. It's funny and a little bit frustrating to me because the news is so slanted when it comes to accountability. I read a website recently that said, in June 2008, President Bush signed a bill approving $200 billion more for the war, which brings the cumulative total to close to $800 billion. They make it sound like the president just sat down at his desk and wrote himself a check for $200 billion. But he just signed a bill that was approved by Congress. All he did was choose not to veto it. I asked Congress for $200 billion more for renovations in the Middle East. One thing seems clear. There is a major problem in politics, and it's a lack of accountability. Sure, hold the president accountable for his decisions, but when it comes time to elect congressional officials, you know, the ones who supported the war when everyone was mad, but now they oppose it because their supporters are mad, don't forget who's been writing checks the whole time. Pro is the opposite of con, so that makes Congress the opposite of progress. It's time to spank the president. It's the only option we have left.